and welcome to the Soul Material Podcast, the podcast you cheer for. I'm your man, the OGEO,
All right, it's T Mark the Street Shark.
and we're here to give you some more of that sneaker business talk as we are going to dedicate this episode to the brands that did it right with the branding, the licensing branding of their shoes and their collabs with certain companies. And I'm going to shoot right off to T Mark, the Street Shark. You know, we're going to have a lot of show and tell, a lot of stories behind the stories, and we're going to represent and give homage to the brands that did some releases the right way with the right license. So, Shark, take it away.
All right, yeah. So we wanted to really focus in on the brand collaboration, specifically with franchises, and just peel back some layers. You know how we do at the Soul Material Podcast, just give you that clarity over popularity, and just we love a good show and tell. So, so without further ado, we just wanted to start off and just talk about a couple, collaborations that mean something to us, and also pretty good execution of what's going on, from the packaging to the concepts, the execution of the colorways, the materials that you used to bring that shoe to life and fully tell the story about some of the characters. So first up, if you haven't listened to us before, just know that the Street Shark is a collector's collector, and we also like that '80s and '90s nostalgia for cartoons. All right, so I've talked about how one of my favorite cartoons is Master of the Universe and He-Man. So of course, I'm going to start off with the Puma Masters of the Universe Revelations. All right, so this was a partnership based on the current Netflix series where they uh, uh, made the franchise and told the stories of all the characters. So they're redrawn, not the classic. It's more anime style, and everything's on Netflix. So as you can see, there's the Netflix logo on the box. So again, when we talked about they had to pay for this collaboration to be able to use all these characters, put them on the box, and then also the Netflix. So when we're talking about branded, licensed collaborations with specific franchises, this is what we're talking about. All right. So let's get into the show and tell. So, we love to show you the box because that's part of the story too, right? So let's just show you one of the shoes. All right. Go to our page, you'll see more details in one of our reels. But so here is the shoe. All right. So we got the classic He-Man colorway with that red and orange. And we got the red patent leather on there mixed in with a little mesh and suede on the toe box area on the upper of the toe. And then you got that suede looking nubuck around the toe wrap. So we already got some premium materials and extra details. But when it comes to the story, so this looks like the, homage to the, his outfit. And then you see the metal shield on the back, you know what I mean? Because you have the metal straps. And you can actually see on the tongue, you got the He-Man, you got his actual face embroidered on there like that. This is actually like faux, I don't even want to call this like horsehair or anything like that, you know what I mean? But it's just extra fur, you know what I'm saying? Because so just like the shoes, his shoes and his loincloth, that's what that represents. So again, bringing it to life, you know what I mean? And it has each one of these shoes has the classic slogan on there. So there you go. It says, "I have the power," on the side. You know what I mean? So this is, really good material. There goes another look on the inside too, just to see that Masters of the Universe logo on the inside. So I love how this is just branded and it really ties back to the toy line and the series because they remade new toys for this series too. So of course I have those to match. So these came. There's a Skeletor colorway and there's a Battle Cat colorway, and of course the Shark has them all. So just to get us started on the licensed, brand collaborations. If you're gonna pay for something, do it like this. All right. Make sure you add all the colorways, and then like the fur is the touch. that just brings it to life. That says that this is a cartoon character. Like it literally brings it to life. It's not just through some similar colorways on there. They're actually balanced. If you know about the color placements of he-bands, like armbands and straps and everything like that, they're actually placed pretty balance based on where it crosses his body, where they're on his arm. So you don't see it where it's just a panel of the color. It's just saying, well, it's represented somewhere. No, it's literally wrapped, with the red and some of the orange cuffs that you have on the shoes and his his battle bracelets or whatever. I don't even know what you call those, but you know what I'm saying. And you got the shield to match. So just wanted to kick it off and just show you something that's near and dear to my heart. Because we always like to promote the Soul Material Podcast. What's your story? And make sure that you like the shoes because you like them, and you always got a story behind it. So I'll kick it to the OG. Tell us some personal insight on a brand collaboration with a franchise that you like.
Definitely. Mine is from years ago, and I'm going to go way old school because I remember as a kid coming back from elementary school on Fox, and at 3:30 it was like clockwork on Channel 5. The original Batman from the late 60s would come on. That was one of my favorite shows. So when Converse decided to get and connect with them to do that collab, I believe it was 2014, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I definitely grabbed them. And just the quality of these were just top notch. And I just show these off and just almost looks like comic book, if you will, of just some of the bang and boom and pow of the original Batman from back in the day when, um, with the comics and everything from back in the 60s. And even with the tongue, show the tongue and the quality with the Batman showing on the tongue, and everything on here was premium. The midsole was very, very highly glossy, and this shoe, like I said, is every bit of 8, 9, or 10 years old now. At this point, you got the fluorescent uh, bottom right there showing it, and it's just again my favorite of all time as far as me being a Batman fan, and they did this right. So all the way from the leathers to even the insole, I'll try to show that, but no, Converse is kind of high, but this entire shoe, it just if you were a fan of this actual time period of Batman, these were a must have. And as you see, even with the age of these things, they have uh, aged like fine wine. And when the summertime comes, I'm rocking these premium leather all the way around, even with the Converse, the classic Chuck Taylor branding right here. Everything on this shoe was top notch, premium. And boy, these were going for maybe like 120, 130 retail at one point, and they were reselling for like 300 at one point back in the day. Not sure what they're going for now, but this is a shoe that I bring out sometimes and just look at and just read it. And again, both shoes are totally different. Every shoe was different, but again, just the quality, details all the way around. If you were a fan of this time, these were must-haves. This is one of my favorites and ones I hold dear to my heart, Shark. So talking about the story, taking back to my childhood, this is my dad's childhood that he put me on to. So again, going down to the generations, just something that went down generationally. And ironically, my daughter, it's like her watching golf. She'll use that to go to bed at night. She'll throw on one of the old Batman DVDs from the set. So again, telling the story, Batman, favorite all time. This Converse collab that they did, top notch. They used premium materials. Shout out to them. They did it right. No questions asked.
Nice.
So taking it back to you, Shark. I know you got something on that. I'm trying to see what's next. I'm trying to like peek to see what you got next. I'm really ready to blow people away. But again, I keep it basic. I keep it simple, man. And Batman, the blue Batman is my guy, definitely.
Nice. So I'm going to just continue the conversation and just add a question mark to this one that I'm about to show and say, like, are those I don't think this is a full license collaboration. So, of course, Nike, you've tried to do this before in the past, where you don't pay for the license and then you make the colorways, and you've tiptoed on that line to the point where some of those franchises did come back and be like, "Nah, you can't release those. You did everything but put our logo on it." Like, no, he can't do that. So this is one of those. So it's from the LeBron collection. If you're a LeBron fan early on, you know about the Stewie Griffin. All right. So later on, this is the LeBron 18 low, where they were actually kind of like the Kobe line did later on down the line, where they did some takedown models, where they just added some of the popular old colorways that were either PEs and limited. Go back to our Grail episode, and you'll know what we're talking about. So LeBron had the Stewie Griffins, but these actually came out in the stores. You know what I mean? So you could have went to Foot Locker and got these. I actually bought these from Foot Locker like at least 6 or 7 months after they released, where they were off the site, and then I just saw they pop back up, and I was like, "Oh, I'll just buy it." So here's the Stewie Griffin. Like, you know that this is Stewie, and then look at the accents of how it matches the animation style and the way the characters are drawn, just to have those extra shadowy spaces already colored in. You know what I'm saying? Same way with the swoosh. These are Stewie's overalls with the yellow, and then again with the tongue, the colorway. You got the old school LeBron logo on there, so you know which time period the original colorway came out. And then what's interesting on the inside, as you can see, the LeBron logo, but take a look. That's the Family Guy font. So without actually putting Family Guy in here. So, you know, I just wonder what it would look like if you were allowed to go all the way and you could put the Family Guy logo on there and like really do even more with this. So, but this is a lot going on. This looks like they tap dance all over this line. So I can't say 100%. I'd love to talk to some people at Nike, and ask them some of the stories behind when they get really close, like how hard is that really in legal terms? But this was the LeBron Stewie was such a grail and sought after. When they put it on here, I was surprised that no one was jumping. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you had to be there the first time to want it when it came back. So yeah. So again, all these attention to details from the LeBron line, but yeah, this is the Stewie Griffin Family Guy, colorway. Officially unofficial? Question mark. What's going on? So you watching this video? Put something in the comments. What do you think? But this is where we're talking about, like, what people care about and what they don't comes into play when it's these ideas are on the drawing board, and brands are making decisions on what's relevant and what you're going to put out, because a lot of times it's bottom line production costs. Well, some of the licensing fees get baked into that. So I get that you want to shave costs sometimes, but we're all about the quality, right? So where's the thought into it's worth it? You know what I mean? Like, those are the times where the $10 extra, $15 extra, that makes sense. But when y'all just, oh, because you resell, we can just charge you $250 for anything. Like, you just remember that you all did that too. So invest in your own stories that you like. You know what I mean? And maybe we move the needle on some stuff. So.
And Shark,
So,
before you show your next kicks, man, you just reminded me about, was it 2007? I think with the most egregious or notorious of all time was the Transformer pack that Nike did, and particularly with that Bo Jackson with that Air Trainer 1. Everything from materials to the colorway, everything said Transformers, even the font of Nike on there. They just didn't put the Transformer on there, and that was one of the classic ones, from it reflecting to everything around. But I just remember that pack, and I was like, this would have been so much doper if they could have. But that's where they, I said, scared that line just enough, definitely.
Oh yeah, because they had the 3M with the grid, and then the font was Transformers font, and it was like you did everything but the logo. But when you had Calvin Johnson, Megatron for his first signature shoe, you paid for the logo,
There
you
you go.
paid for the license. The first Megatron shoe, the CJ1, has the Decepticon logo on the back. It came with a Decepticon toy that transformed into like a football or whatever. You know what I mean? So like, if you wanted to do it, you did it. Like I could go dig those out too, but this is what we're talking about is that type of collaboration, so, cause that was a little egregious, that they did that. So let me go into another franchise that that's near and dear to my heart too. And let's talk about our friends down in the sewers. We got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So again, this was a couple years ago when the first Ninja Turtles movie came out. The Michael Bay version. Now, I'm not talking about the original version. You know what I'm saying? When it came out, they kind of looked a little like aliens or whatever. You know what I mean? So not the greatest for your nostalgic fans, but it was story wasn't bad. But anyway, this is officially the Fila Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle official movie collaboration. All right. So there goes the logo, and if you can see it, it says the movie. All right. And then now they have the Fila logo on the side with the shade of turtle. Got that mutagen action going on. So, and I want to show you. So this is the M Squad. All right. The M Squad. So if you open it up, looks the tissue paper looks like the manhole, right? And this is the M Squad. Remember these, some old Jamal Mashburn action. M Squad. One of the things I love about this shoe, if you go back and watch this movie, you will see Michelangelo wearing this Fila shoe. It's a little beat up version of it, you know what I mean? But you can see the M. That's why this is orange and has and they played out the M could be and they put it on Michelangelo. You know what I mean? So I just love that product placement because Ninja Turtles was one of the movies. Now go back in the day. Think about how much advertising was in the original Ninja Turtles movie, when especially Pizza Hut and all these other deals that they had, and Pepsi and all these strategic product placements. So I actually like that they seeded this in there, so some of the newer people wouldn't care, but like people like us, love those Easter eggs, so I definitely had to show this off because this was a gem and definitely an Easter egg. And I'm just like, I got the shoes that Michelangelo was wearing. Again, it's just what I like, you know what I mean? So not to say that this is everyone's cup of tea, but Fila collaborated with a number of brands. This isn't the first Ninja Turtles that they did. They had some other Ninja Turtle shoes where you could, change the strap on them and everything like that. But, this particular one, because I've worn these a couple times, this is just one of my favorites. It's a classic model. Again, we talked about all the brands that we like, and I mentioned Jamal Mashburn with Fila. But, the M Squad, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, we got the full everything. I just want to give you some camo action, and you got the extra shades of green in there just to show, highlighting some of that, the mutagen or secret ooze that, gave the turtles their origin story. But yeah, just wanted to dig into the archives. No one's talking about Fila and stuff like that, so we always zigzag on everybody. So there you go, Ninja Turtles, Fila M Squad.
Chuck, what year was that? I'm trying to think back because that's called the first, second time they did it around is what I call it. What year was that? You recall?
That was. I was trying to see if it even had it on the box. I want to say that was at least. It had to be around like 2014, 15, something around there. It's 10 years old.
That quick.
10 years old. Yes. Yeah, that movie came out. Yeah, it's at least 10 years old. Yeah, I want to say 14, 15 was around that time. So yeah, Michelangelo. So I got one more Fila too. because I love this is even older. You know what I mean? But so I gotta dust this off a little bit. But this one is another franchise. So can anyone guess what this is when we open it up? No, this is not Jurassic Park. All right, we got Fila. We got the Ghostbusters. All right, so this is the little trap. You know what I'm saying? That catch the ghost. So the box is the trap. So so if you look, I'm trying to hold it a special way. Look how it opens. Y'all, everyone forgot about this, huh? Look, it opens this way, just like the trap. And I used to have this toy as well back in the day. So Ghostbusters, so you see it's reflective in the middle, and of course, me, I add my own stuff in here. So I got the Ecto one in there. So, again, this is how I just add stuff to the pot. So that didn't come with the shoe. But one of the reasons why I like this collaboration because of another level beyond Ghostbusters. All right, so here's the actual shoe. All right, this is the XF 100. Right, so there's a Turtles collaboration just like this that I was talking about that you can change the strap on here. All right. So this is modeled after the original Ghostbusters, like the movie, like Dan Aykroyd, like the movie with their suit. How it was the tan, onesie suit, and Soul, has some glow in the dark speckles on here. We got the alternative laces. Here we go again with the branded tags, the co-branded license, Ghostbusters, Fila. You want to see the brand logo next to the license logo. That's when you know it's a real collaboration. Um, and the curator to this project, Nas. He made, Fila collaborated with someone who's from New York, understands the New York culture, and the basis of the Ghostbusters is all of New York. And they used Nas to help collaborate with this, and then he did, because he's done other collaborations for his store out in Vegas as well. But Nas, see, that's what that N, that's that Nas right there. So just wanted to bring that story full circle, like at the levels of this collaboration. Oh yeah, we gotta love that. Look at the execution of the box, and then it's Ghostbusters and it's Nas. Come on, come on. Hip hop is alive. You know what I'm saying? And so the reason why we're doing this is to just as a final thought, is where's this at? Where's this going? Where do consumers appreciate these things? It feels like they don't, which is why they're few and far between. Companies aren't willing to invest but so much money if you're not caring about it. You know what I mean? So this is why you have to have more of your affiliation to your stories, and they will make more stuff based on your stories. But if you're always chasing influencers and chasing up what's hot, um, um, you know, then you're not going to get these type of collaborations or these levels of collaborations. Like, please understand how much time and energy it takes. The money that goes into building these things, is the time for the people. It includes the time of the people, making the time to collaborate, come up with many different iterations, and really just see how to bring things to life. And then when you do the official license, you want to do it right, because you don't want to be the ones that ruins it for everybody else. Where it's just like, what, it's not worth it, because especially when it comes to movie franchises and then the reboot of said movie franchises, those studios are putting tons of dollars. You know why? Because they want to see licensed material all over the place. It helps promote the movie. Think about how many things got the LeBron Space Jam, and then like how many things had the LeBron Space Jam. They were letting that license go to a ton of people. So yeah, just think about those things. Just as a final thought, as we wrap up this episode, for just talking about brand collaborations, particularly with franchises. All right. So final thoughts from the OG before we sign off on this another show and tell episode.
Just that we're at that time now, Shark, in which I think everything has been remade. So I'm wondering when we go through another round of remakes, if we will have the availability and the privilege of seeing these brands do this over again, but bigger and better. But like you said, it's the demand of the people. And right now, would you agree that Puma is probably number one right now as far as the consistency and doing this the right way, franchise-wise, whether it's cereal, whether it's movies, whether it's cartoons? Looks like Puma has been doing it number one, and I like to see other brands, but shout out to Puma for doing it the right way consistently, even during a time where it's been not as in demand as it was in the past.
Yeah, I'm going to say this, and it's going to be might sound like a hot take, so I agree, but there's one more brand. We're a footwear podcast, all right? There's one more brand besides Puma, and it's Crocs, all right? So go to our, Crocs are cool episode if you want to hear more about what's going on over there. But they're what? Give me some Lightning McQueen's Crocs. Those things sold out like 3 times. And now you can get them more because they just flooded more of their stores with those. But that's just an example of they listen. And then it's like, oh, you want more? Here. Here. That's the way you do it. So if you want to do something limited or small run just to see what's going on, and then they want it, and then you give them more. Isn't that what y'all asked for? You want more. So when the bigger companies actually give you more, why are they sitting on the shelves? You're not motivating them to put more out like you keep asking. So again, yeah. Shout out to Puma, shout out to Crocs. Send them some stuff. It's old material. Podcast you cheer for. But at the end of the day, we can remake stuff, but at some point in time, you're gonna have to be original so you can remake it later. So we're gonna have to get through where we're at in these phases. It's one thing to have the long braids or whatever, but you still got to grow it, right? I think we're in that the mini Bush phase of of where we're at with collaborations and where we're trying to go, because there's still a lot of people out there pushing these collaborations, but the brands are making some different decisions. So as consumers, you have the power. So there you go. See what I did there? So there you go for another episode in the books from the Soul Material Podcast, the podcast you cheer for, giving you that clarity over popularity. So signing off, it's T. Martin Street Shark.
And your man, the OGO. Until next time, peace to you.
Peace.
Sneaker business talk. It's the Soul Material Podcast.